Day 17 of the lockdown.
What do you mean?
Alright, so we're making some fizzy French toast. Could this toast be a metaphor for how everyone is feeling heated and on a skillet? I suppose bread's a lot less complicated than life. One way or the other, you need to chop up the pieces to make sense of what's happening, whether it's making French toast or whether it's living life. Chopping up the duress that we have experienced over the last few weeks, Jared, is where we begin today's topic about dealing with uncertainty.
अभी तो सभी कारोबार फोन पर ही चलता है.
Could we call this a provisional existence of an unknown limit?
मीटर कितना भी तेज भाग ले, टैक्सी से आगे नहीं भाग सकता.
वैसे ही इंसान जितना भी तेज भाग ले, वक्त से आगे नहीं भाग सकता भैया.
Exactly.
Uncertainty about health, about our businesses, about our social circles, about our career progress, about just how the situation is going to pan out. We are all riddled with thoughts of uncertainty, and it's beginning to get to us.
सच बहुत कड़वा होता है. Truth is very bitter, you know.
But if you think about your own trajectory with uncertainty, you're actually better prepared than you thought you were. Think about the first time you had to give an examination, maybe the first time you had to go to school, the first time you had to ask a woman out, or for the women, the first time you had to express your feelings for a guy. Think about a crazy job interview that you were waiting to give and the uncertainty that came with the waiting period. Think about the uncertainty that you feel every time outside Andheri station when you're trying to catch a rickshaw. Think about the uncertainty of whether you'll get that pay increment that you've been busting your ass for, and whether that pay increment is going to help you put down a loan for a house or a car or anything else you want. Think about all those uncertainties and then really tell me, really, are you really as unprepared for the concept of uncertainty as you thought you were?
When the chips are down.
It's difficult to think straight, I get it. But what you need to keep reminding yourself of is...
Nobody said it was easy.
You have three options: worry, wonder, and work. This is what I meant when I said let's chop up the duress. So what are these three options? Let's try to understand that a bit.
Huh?
If you worry, it means you've gone beyond the point of having reasonable doubt. So this isn't so much about your curiosity. This is more about your desire to predict the future and know exactly with guarantees, with a sign from maybe Narendra Modi himself that everything will be okay to the way it was before, to the way that you specify. So worrying causes anxiety, anxiety causes panic, and then you are back to square one where you worry about being worried, which we discussed yesterday is called a meta disturbance. Your second option is to wonder, which is to maintain a healthy curiosity about the situation. This means that you are educated. This means that you are trying to plan for the future. But this doesn't mean that you are worried. This means that you are assimilating information, trying to work with facts, trying to get these facts from credible sources so that you're not running around with conspiracy theories in your mind, or you're not spreading fake news or news that could distress other people on WhatsApp.
Used to look up in the sky and wonder at our place in the stars. Now we just look down and worry about our place in the dirt.
Human beings have always been
Explorers, pioneers.
We have fought pandemics before. We have fought wars before. We have battled economic instability. We have taken on political regimes that were cruel and unfair. We've done it all. And despite the fact that we have learned to deal with it all through uncertainties, we still keep asking the question, even if we were not facing the COVID-19 pandemic, if you wanted absolute guarantees about love, life, family, work, health, travel, even your pets, even the quality of the food that you've come to expect from your favorite restaurant, even when you want guarantees about that, you just can't have it, because that's just not how life works. There is always a spanner in the works. There's always something that screws up even the most well thought out plans. You don't believe me? Watch Money Heist season 1. There is always, some people call it a divine plan. I don't believe in that, but there is always something that comes in our way that we didn't expect, didn't prepare for, didn't calculate, didn't factor in, and that is just the nature of the world. Uncertainty has been a part of our lives even before the pandemics. Can you imagine how it was for our ancestors if they went out hunting from their caves and they had an injury in the forest before the dawn of medical science? It just means they would die, probably sitting under a tree, waiting for a lion to show up and eat them, or any similar predator. There were no guarantees back then. There are no guarantees right now, and there can't be, there never will be. So it's important for us to plan our resources, plan our times, and plan what we do with the limited time. And I always say limited because we can't be arrogant about the amount of time we have on this planet. So what is it gonna be?
दिल पर हाथ रख लो, अब बहुत जोरों से धड़कने वाला है।
And the third option is work. Work towards a goal, work towards a skill set, work towards an activity, work towards a certain mindset, but put in the work, because no one's going to do that for you. There are no shortcuts to happiness, and you may have seen this in every cliched internet quote about happiness, that happiness isn't a destination, it is a journey. Ever seen that on Instagram?
100%.
People tend to naturally choose the paths that offer them the greatest rewards with the least amount of effort. And it is in this pursuit that we're always looking for quick, easy, simple, convenient, ideal solutions to many of life's problems. But as we grow older, as we grow smarter, hopefully, as we become more and more entrenched in the sheer uncertainty of things, we do realize that that doesn't work in the long run. We have to be flexible, we have to be adaptive, we have to be intelligent about how we do things, because no one is standing out there to hold an umbrella over our heads when it rains. And believe me, it will rain one way or the other. Adversity, conflict, uncertainty will visit you, regardless of whose kid you are, how much money you make, how lovely your complexion is, how expensive the coffees that you drink, how sorted you think you might be. Don't try to predict the next 10 days, the next 10 months, the next 10 years. However, that doesn't mean you don't prepare for it. Focus on
आज का क्या प्रोग्राम है?
the only way to get unstuck is if you add some structure to your day, and this structure could very well be something that you take on as a project. What is it that you want to do during your day? Do you want to read and catch up with books? Do you want to watch TV shows? Do you want to nap? There are so many options. If you go on Google and ask Google for ideas of things to do during the lockdown, or you can identify some courses to do during the lockdown, online courses, distance learning courses, guaranteed you're going to come out of this smarter and stronger, and that will also help you cope with the uncertainty. Because if your mind is busy, if your schedule is busy, and if you find interesting things to do, you won't constantly get sucked into this entire chat about the pandemic, because believe it or not, your chat isn't going to save the world. The scientists and medical professionals will. So take it easy. Peace out. That's my piece for today.